And whilst I might have said never give up in the last episode, that's not actually good advice. The trick is to know when to give up. Now, you don't give up too soon because, hey, you might have almost just got there, or might have just succeeded, or might have just whatever, but you gave up too soon. But equally, there's some people who just won't ever give up. They've got their thing that they're doing and they're just going to do it until it works. And yet, what they don't know is it's never going to work. So they'll just be wasting their time on something, trying to make it work when it just won't work. So the trick in life is not to never give up. The trick is to know when to give up. Greetings from Brisbuga. It's funny, Maltese town names sound like a cross between a cat walking across a keyboard and a tropical disease. A little windy today, so I won't be going anywhere because I have my dinghy fixed on the back of the boat now, which is really good, but because of the prevailing direction of the wind coming from this direction, all the waves are just crashing onto the shore over there, so there's no way you can actually tie a dinghy up without getting it beat to shit. And there was a big boat there last night, and you wake up in the morning and it's a different big boat. It's amazing how efficient they are at getting the boats in and out very, very quickly. Last night it was very, very, very windy. I mean, we had about constant 35 gusting to 45, 47, and I came out this morning and found this, a snapped mooring line, which is a bit scary because if one of them snaps, that puts more strain on the first one, which could also snap. And if I'd have lost both of them, I've only got about 5 minutes to react before we end up on those rocks. So lesson learned is if you've got 2 mooring lines to use them both just in case. There's been a lot of wind coming from the south, and that causes all this dust from the Sahara, which is it's only a couple of 100 kilometers that way. Potholes has been a fucking pain in the ass. It goes flat, which is not good if you're a boat, which is why I kind of need to replace potholes. I can't fix the puncture, and the outboard motor stopped working again, and I'm just freaking done with it. It's like I should just like get rid of the boat, get rid of the engine, and get new. I mean, not new, but new used, because I really need a reliable dinghy and a reliable outboard, and I have neither. So that's why I came back here, and we're good because I can just go to the post office, the fuel station, and the shops. So it's a good place to be. And out there, it was too far to row anywhere. Fine if you've got an outboard, but if you haven't, you're fucked. So, and one of the things I've needed for a while was some foam to put under the generator so it doesn't vibrate as much. And I'm walking along and I see this little door open and there's some foam near it, and I'm like, that's a foam shop. So I poke my nose in the door and this chap says, "Hello, can I help you?" And I said, I'm looking for a piece of foam about so big by so big, because I need to put it under my generator, so it doesn't need to be fancy or anything. He's like, this big? I'm like, yeah. He goes, here you go. And he just gave it to me. Isn't that nice? And he and his wife can make actual, not only the foam for the inside, but they can do the whole seat cover thing as well. So I'm going to go back there tomorrow and get a nice little seat made, so my ass is kept sweet. Oh, the joys of the engine room. So what was happening is I noticed it wasn't going into gear quite as quickly as it should do. So I checked it's actually transmission fluid that goes in the drive, and it was a bit low. So I have tracked down the right stuff, and I'm going to put some in. Back with a smaller one. I'm also really curious about how you found this video. Did you do a search on Google or YouTube or Facebook or whatever? But if you could just leave a comment below telling me how you came across this video, I would really appreciate it. Thanks very much. It has been a while since I checked the props, and I like to put a camera down there every now and again. I mean, really I should dive down there, but it'll be a bit warmer in about a week, so I might wait a week. But I want to just put the camera down and see what it looks like. I made this little wind scoop because I don't know if you can see it, the sort of the window opens this way so that any draft coming from this way doesn't enter the boat. And because boats always go downwind because the anchor's out there somewhere, it meant that you never got any airflow through the boat. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it just needs to be a scoop thing. If only I had a tarp. And I found the tarp that I had. But I'm gonna get a proper one made that isn't quite as bulky, and because I use this tarp for other stuff as well. So there's a big container ship going out. It's been really interesting, like living with the big container ships, because it's part of life that you just never have any experience with, because it's a container ship. Why would you interact with a container ship at all? But living right next to it, you just start noticing them, and they're huge and they move around a lot. I mean, they come in overnight and then they quickly unload and unload and unload, and they don't really take everything off. They only take maybe 10, 20, 30% of the stuff off, and then they load more stuff on, and it's all computerized and barcoded and everything knows where it's going, and then they take off. And then the next one comes right in. They're sort of hot berthing. The second one leaves, as one slides right into its place. So that's been kind of interesting. That over there is the power station, and that over there is where they keep the fuel for the power station. So it burns liquid natural gas, and when this one gets low, it leaves, and another one comes by, and they connect that one up to it, and everything just keeps going. I've been down here in Brisbane about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now, on the hook, so free, which is good. Solved a few problems, got a new generator, got my outboard fixed, but now I've got to go back to Valletta, so I'm just prepping the boat, getting a few things straight and where they should be. It's terrible when you get somewhere and your boat's not ready to get moored and you're backing in and you're like, oh, my lines are all over the place and stuff. So I'm going to do that before I leave, and yeah, it's about an hour's worth of work just to get things straight so that it's ready for when I get there. And when I get up there, I'm going to give the boat a good clean as well, because everything is covered in this Saharan dust and I don't have any way of washing it. So I'll do that when I get up to the marina. Okay, we are off to Taj Beach for a couple of days and saying goodbye to the big boats. We are about 3-4 kilometers short of Taj Beach, but right ahead of me there's a big cruise liner ferry type thing coming out, and so I want to keep out of his way and go in, tuck in behind him. So I've slowed down, turned left a little bit to let him pass in front of me. Made it safely into the marina, got all moored up, berthed. That was good. Their rates have increased a little bit. They're 70 euros a night instead of 53 a night. Not a big deal, but it just means I'll be only here one night. I just need to get as much stuff done as possible. Like getting all the batteries fully charged up and filling it with water. What a disgraceful mess. But that's okay, because I haven't been paying rent for the past month. So now is the time I get to throw out all the trash, tidy things up, dry stuff out, and just get organized back here. So that's a good thing. Okay, let's go do some stuff. Well, the iPhone's not ready yet, but I wasn't expecting it to be ready, so that's not a big deal. But he said he's going to try and get it done by Wednesday, so that's good. Can't quite figure out where the dinghy's leaking, so it's difficult to patch. In fact, I can't patch it because it's a whole dinghy and I can't find the leak. Okay, here's a fairly good example of what not to do with a boat. See, I'm here, and then this rather nice boat comes in right in front of me, like exactly upwind of me. I mean, there's all this space just here that he could go, but he went right ahead of me. So, and he's still using his engines to screw around, but it's like, why wouldn't you park over there? Because then if your anchor, just when no one's paying any attention, happens to lift itself off the bottom and you start dragging it, he's going to drag it right into me. And that would be awesome good, because I'm sure he has very good insurance. It's funny, big boats, small brains.